Well, what's going on, Zoms? Emotionally deprived and sleep deprived zombies. It's only 6:17 p.m. and it's only Saturday, the 18th of June, 2022. The zombie and Rosamund. Weaver John C. Just The emotions have been giving me a field day, more so than what I ever wanted or encountered. They are kicking my butt literally. Just about anyway. I haven't felt this stressed out in a hell of a long while that I don't know what the hell I'm doing anymore, to tell you the truth. I'm still trying to figure myself out. As I tried to explain in my previous videos. Okay, I just want to make sure this damn thing's still on. As I was trying to explain in my previous videos, the emotional tsunamis kick in, especially when I get triggered. Certain trigger words or images or memories would put me on the edge, and I've been going through it for a long time now. When Ma died, I suppose that's when the breakage started, somewhere inside of me. I mean, I had people to go see, and my brother and I actually had transportation until we lost that. We lost a home, got homeless, and got an apartment, but lost transportation. And during that time, my brother was trying to seek online care through a scam artist. Claimed she loved him. Actually, she wanted to milk him for every drop of money, including for me, too. After David died, I drop kicked her. I made videos about this one a long time ago. After you know, last Ma, I had to make a tribute to her, and I did. It was so well done that Dave and I never saw it again. I posted it online a long time ago. At least I hope so. I also David David's as well. I hadn't seen it either, because I know it's going to leave me devastated. Both works of art are going to be devastating. And it's hard enough to talk about the family on some occasions and then try to laugh and joke about them, when I know that somehow, some way, they get misconstrued in my head and somehow trigger the responses again. Back through the emotions again, back through the depression, and then I'm like, forget it, as I'm feeling right now. Yeah, earlier today. Going through the emotional tsunamis is not a trip I'd recommend to anybody these days. But if they've lost their loved ones, I hate to say it, but it's what we go through. It's what I call it. I'm not a guru or writing up any books or planning on writing any books. My videos are my talking to people about it. That's just it. I'm not looking to make a damn dollar on a damn misery. Fuck it. Yeah, you heard me say it. You heard me cussing. I just may do a little bit more on it, because usually on following up with other logs, you usually have a lot more colorful languages on it. Not supposed to have that kind of language, especially when I'm trying to talk serious to people left and right. Only if I'm trying to talk to myself on a log that I can actually get crazy with the language. But grief is nothing simple to get through, nor to talk about. It's one of the most complicated damn things out there to go through, and we all know how it is. You know, you lost your family pet. It means something to you at that point. You lost a relative, a family friend, somebody close to you. You know how much of your heart is torn asunder a little bit. But not when it feels like it's been completely removed and been put into a Cuisinart while it's still beating. I hate to throw a Indiana Jones Temple of Doom thing in there, but that's what kind of reminds me of. Mulleron happens to get this damn hard and starts going, and watch it goes flaming in his hands while the poor schmuck is dying, and then he gets to be burned alive. But for me, having that heart torn out and then Cuisinarted, it's the most grossest damn thing I could ever come across when it comes down for the pain. Now, as I said before, losing Ma, I actually had distractions like crazy. Things happening left and right. But losing David, and I've said this before many times, I had to deal with life, had to keep a roof, get the utilities going, have food for me and my dog, make sure there's enough funding coming in to pay for the roof, let alone maybe get some detergent to clean the clothing every once in a great while. And what gets to me sometimes on these grief pages is I have to keep talking to the newcomers left and right what's going on. And I'll tell you what upsets me the most is when I keep running into postings concerning about my friends out there and they're having life. They're dealing with life. They're experiencing life. They're trying to put any kind of grief or pain aside. They're able to deal with it. I tried to deal with it a long time ago. But since losing both Dave and Ma, who were very close to me, I'm having a hard time trying to move on. Hell, I'm having a hard time trying to get the hell out of the house sometimes, except to walk my dog. It's hard dealing with people right now as it is. It's hard dealing with myself as it is. In my anger and in my pain and my rage and my frustration, it seems like I've taken it out more and more on people left and right. But they'll never get a chance to hear about it since I'm usually storing them on the audio files and they're never made public. A private way to vent. How do I feel about them, really? Well, how the hell do they still feel about me, really, that is? I know a friend of mine up in Washington right now, drums was his life, but he had a career. And drums was just a hobby that he enjoyed a great deal. And he's suffering through health conditions. I wish I could help him through it. His family's up there with him, walking him through this. I wish I could do that for him. And I miss my friend a great deal. I had two other friends that helped me out with my brother's ashes. They paid for the ashes. I can't pay him back on this. I mean, I could try paying him back on this one. But after that, their lives are complicated enough that they're barely keeping track of me, what's going on. I mean, if they actually go on Facebook, they can actually see how my mind is during that time. I'll get a call every once in a great while, but at least I get communicated. But other friends I've had, we've gotten too extreme, radicalized, or too crazy in our own damn viewpoints that we don't deal with each other eye to eye anymore. We just don't. Kinda sucks when you lose friends. Try to use friends as the support groups when you can, especially when you lose your backbone. And the backbone was my family. When I lost Big Brother back in 2018, that was when everything else dropped. And I struggled even harder. Alone. I hardly ever been alone in my life. But now I have to. And it's scary. Of course, I know how to do rent and bills and try to get food. However, my choice of menu options suck. Other things I can discover. But as for happiness, I've read comments from other people about why don't you be happy? Why don't you try to be happy? Why don't you act happy? That's only for them, not for you, not for the one suffering. Robert Williams kept trying to tell people be kind because you don't know what kind of battles they're dealing with. And he's right. They keep passing his wisdom along social media left and right because he was right. Nobody knows what battles that each of us are battling or dealing with, and we have to be kind to each other. As much as irritating as it sounds like it, I mean, we have to be kind to each other. It's showing mercy and compassion and empathy. I just don't have to follow everyone else's suggestions or actions. I can listen. But if it's not going to be what I'm going to be doing or thinking about, then, I'll just be polite, but I'll deal with it myself. Tomorrow's Father's Day. I think somewhere I made a video concerning about my father as well. It's hard enough dealing with Mother's Day, but we called it Mama's Day because it was Mama's Day. Dave and I were still alive. We celebrated as much as we could. While she was alive, it was insisted upon. It was like birthday and Christmas. You never, ever forget them. Otherwise, there would be a penalty. Ma was good on her penalties. Ma was very, very good on her penalties. It got to a point where we couldn't deal with it. And that's only after the first time we forget her birthday. Couldn't forget Christmas. Damn near done that. And she made us suffer for the entire year. Yeah. And Mother's Day was one of those days we could not afford to mess up. But being imperfect human beings, we suffered on the rest of the year for that one too. But the one day that we never celebrated because there was nobody in our family to claim the title, and that was Father's Day. Now, my brother actually had a biological sperm donor who actually called a dad, actually called a father, even though Ma and him were divorced and living separate lives, and he's going through separate wives left and right. But still, it makes this particular Father's Day kind of hard because I was pushed to memory of how my brother's father tried to incorporate me into his family one way or another. And the last Christmas, the only Christmas a Christmas present I had gotten from my brother's father, which I would probably call a dad or a father at this point if I could. Of call him Harry. A gift card. I took a picture of it. I don't know if I still have it or not. I wish I had. Because to me, that's the most important thing I actually had. That was telling me I actually had a dad that cared about me. I don't care how old he was, and I don't care what a short time. He claimed the title. And I was grateful. And I should have mourned and grieved with my brother, but we never had the chance. We never did. We had other things happening that took our, you know, took our attention away from it. Took our attention well away from it. It would have been a real Father's Day situation right there with him. The only time I actually got to meet him in person when he was traveling and he came out to Commerce. He was meeting a client. And Dave and I drove all the way out to Commerce. Got into a motel where he was. It must have been about 3-4 hours of listening to Dave and him reminisce, talk to each other, go over some stuff. In a way, David was still trying to reconnect with him. I kept trying to tell my brother before the meeting that David, he's trying to connect. You may not like it, but David, he is your dad. Look at me, Dave. I ain't got a dad. I had a biological sperm donor who abandoned my ass when I needed him the most. At my birth. Had heart surgery, had every other thing that was happening. Where was he? Nowhere. Hangs up on me. Well, Ma tries to call him and introduce me to him, and I talk to him for a couple seconds, and he hangs up on me. And that was it. That was a lifelong anger. That was a lifelong... That's lifelong resentment right there. I'm still not quite convinced myself if I actually still forgive the son of a bitch or not. I hope. Maybe it could have been one day, but there was never a chance. There was never an opportunity. The only thing I could do is pray for him. That's the only thing I can do. And even to put it on the record that I pray for him in his soul. God be merciful to him. God bless him and his family, whatever he has left or had left. And God take care of him. And I'd forgive him. But that's about it. Made damn sure that I wouldn't know about you in any way, shape, or form. Even if I happen to get contacted by anybody connected with him, I'm not quite sure if I'm going to be that friendly or not. One of the online posts I had out there didn't exactly treat him too damn kindly. His name was John Elmer Weaver. He was afraid of people during the time he was alive, that there was a lot of anti-Semitism. I don't know if he was Jewish or not. But the only thing I do know, his initials did spell out Jew. J-E-W. So he tried to drop his middle name. It just became John Weaver. Common name enough. Me, I had inherited my family's name of Cameron. And I'm proud of it. I like it. If I would add another name to it, I would add Shaw to it. Because I like the name of that too. I'd have to change a hell of a lot of records out there. Maybe in one way I'd be a Shaw in spirit, if not biologically. But still. Hard to celebrate a day when you never knew almost anything about your dad. I heard a little stories here and there, but I didn't believe him. He was a member of the Magic Castle out in Hollywood. Yeah, right. The only way to do that is to be a magician. Yeah, right. He disappeared. Good trick. Maybe truthful. Inventor, manufacturer of some sort. Gotten a bunch of money concerning about a product that he claims he invented. Or a process he claimed he invented. Kept having the checks bounce. Guy was not faithful when it comes to for child support. But I don't know all these decades where the hell the guy disappeared to. Until I've recently looked at a paperwork that I was going through that we saved from Mama. Actually, she was saving a lot of paperwork. And somewhere in there was an envelope that actually had my father's name on it and an address. Long time ago. Nobody's going to be remembering that damn shit. But even if I did start the journey at this point over here, what would be the point? You fucking abandoned my ass. I mean, I'd like to know if the son of a bitch was still alive or not. If he is still alive, then what? I have to accept I have to accept. I have to accept that he's dead, he's gone, he's buried, he's not in my life anymore. Sucks. I can't celebrate the holiday for Father's Day because it leaves too much anger, bitterness, resentments. I'll forgive the son of a bitch, but I still got to work through mine. I got to work through those feelings there. Doesn't mean I love him. I don't. I don't even like him. I don't have a dad. I don't have a father. A biological sperm donor just drop kicked my ass. I had uncles and someone else's father, my brother's father, trying to adopt me in one way or another. Ma didn't want to lose her family at one time. Family went crazy when it came down for my brother. Before I was born, he was still having issues. And my brother, he would have been somebody else's if Ma really didn't fight for him. She loved him. It was her kid. She was going to fight for her kids. I'd fight for my mama. She fought for me. She fought for David. I fight for her, and I fight for my brother. We all fight for each other. Kind of a hard thing for me to talk about on Father's Day. I said before, Mama's Day gets worse. Each year there's no Mama to celebrate. There's no Brother's Day. Can't celebrate my brother, except on his birthday. And that's even harder to deal with on some occasions. Kind of makes the holidays kind of hard, especially the patriotic ones. When they celebrate the veterans who are still alive and kicking. I would celebrate my brother when he was alive and kicking. And now I just can't even do that because it hurts too damn much. My brother would have been tickled pink if I actually start wearing some of his stuff and say, my brother, this is my brother's stuff. The thing is, I can't even wear this stuff because I know it's going to devastate me. That's my brother's stuff, not mine. And if I happen to wear his stuff, I know it's going to be killing my ass. I mean, he got in my case so many damn times when he was alive about me going into his personal stuff and just checking things out. He never did like me going into his stuff like that when he was alive. And now he's gone, and I've boxed him up or burned him up or bagged him up somewhere. Because I couldn't dare to look at it because of how much it hurt. Because every time I kept seeing them, I kept seeing my brother. And that's what made it hurt. See, I can't look at the nice stuff. The nice stuff to me is just pain and misery. I can look at some of the happy pictures that I've gotten almost used to, but they still hurt on some occasions. Father's Day, as it is, if I actually had a father. I mean, what happens if I actually found my biological sperm donor had died right after I made contact with him? No way to make reconciliation. No way to correct any mistakes made. No way to get close with each other. And I heard like hell trying to keep up an anger because of ignorance. Ignorance. I was angry and frustrated and carried resentments because of ignorance. I didn't know what was going on inside of his head, his mind, or why he was doing this. There was no communication. And without the communication going on, how the Sam Hill am I supposed to know what the hell was going on inside of his fucking mind? Did he blame me or is he blaming himself more and more? I think he would probably be blaming himself. And if that's the case, if he couldn't do it, if he had a hell of a lot of fear in the damn thing, okay, fine. Just say so. At least be man enough to admit that you had a hell of a lot of fear, because I tell you, I still had a hell of a lot of fear, but I still had a hell of a lot of anger and resentments. And I couldn't get close to anybody. But a lot of people died that I actually cared about, and I couldn't cry for them. It seems like right after my brother's death, I'm crying for more and more of them. Because now it seems like someone has given permission for me to do so. And now I'm crying over it. More and more. And it's hard as hell to talk to people about this, including friends, when they don't even want to talk about it. I talk about it to people on the grieving pages, and very few people I'll actually get into a conversation with regarding it. They've lost their loved ones. They've lost their fathers, mothers, children, friends, fiancés, husbands, wives. The list goes on and on. Sometimes shortly, sometimes years ago. But still, the pain is still there. It's still sharp in hell. It's something nobody wants to go through. But we're all going through it anyway. Even the ones who are missing out on their dads, they'll complain about their fathers sometimes, and I'll say just try to understand you've got a father still alive. For those of us that don't have a father and never knew our fathers, we'd look at you in envy at this point. If I had known my dad had died decades ago, right after that phone call, would that help me right now? Not much. Because now I got to start grieving I have to go through the grieving process on that one because he would have been something that was a trigger word to me that I value and covet the most. Family. 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 The most important thing in the universe, I don't care if it's gravity or oxygen or whatever. To me, it's family. And when you lose family, even a piece of it, you take a piece of yourself, it's gone. Until maybe you're reunited. Maybe it would be your turn to go to the astral plane and be reunited. But until that happens in the mortal plane, we have to grieve and suffer through this shit. We have to move on. We have to deal. We have to cope. And it's not that easy. Damn, I miss my brother and I miss my mother a great deal, and there's nothing I can do about it. Except grieve and go through the damn pain. And that's all the fucking shit I can do. I don't know what else to do at this point. I can't tell you have a happy Father's Day. Unless you have a father and you love him like crazy, and then I'll say have a happy Father's Day. But don't wish one on me. Do not wish it on me. I don't have a father. Now, if we're talking about a spiritual father, that's a different story altogether. But if we're talking about a biological one, I got a biological sperm donor, and that's about it. But there's no happy biological sperm donor day on this one. But if we're talking about God as the Father, then I'll say Happy Father's Day. He's the one that kept getting me out of the damn fire and saving my ass all the time. I had to be grateful for them. Loudmouth cucky son of a bitch. Yeah, me. I had to get this shit off my chest. I don't care about the language right now or not. Tomorrow's Father's Day, and we all have our biological sperm donors to deal with. Regardless of what kind of relationship we have with them. Either they're part of the family or they're not part of the family. Mine was never part of the family, so I deal with the coping and loss. You folks, if you still have yours alive, be grateful. Be thankful. But if they're already passed on, my heartfelt condolences. Try to cherish the memories as much as you can, but be careful about the emotional tsunamis that tear your ass apart. They've been tearing my ass apart a great deal more. I can't even deal. Okay. That's it.